Timeless. It's a statement piece. The technology in Timeless is unprecedented, it's unique, it's innovative, it's industry leading. You're going to see the most powerful symmetrical weight blocks mixed with our most successful cover stock. The pins have no chance. This is why the ball is timeless.
Live from South Plains Lanes, Lubbock, Texas. Lubbock Sports Open presented by Ebonite. Stepladder final. Craig Elliott, Randy Peterson here on the call. Randy, we got quite a top four stepladder here.
We have a great stepladder finals getting ready to take place. EJ Tackett, your reigning player of the year, is our #1 seed. This young man shot 290 in position round, went from 7th all the way to 3rd. EJ Johnson's coming of age. He's learned how to bowl. He's learned how to manage his game, and now he's looking for his first ever career win.
Well, AJ made the stepladder finals, bowled the championship match against Josh Blanchard and Tamarack, and Josh Blanchard put on a clinic against him. He's back to try to pick up his first title. And bowling someone he knows quite well, Marshall Kent, old college buddies, bowled for different schools back in college, but shoot up against each other quite a few times.
3, 4, 6, 7, 10. How about that? Yeah, if we were doing the live show on ESPN, this would be your hammer tough spare replay. A great conversion. Well, Marshall Kent survived position round with the single pin spare in the 10th frame and held on.
Well, what a position round we had. If you tuned in extra frame, if not, check the archive. There was a lot of stuff happening. A.J. Johnson, 290 to go from 7th to 3rd and knock Sean Rash out of the show.
Sean bowled just 170. Jakob Butturff shot 160 and went from the lead down to 2nd. Marshall Kent shot 190 and held on. But he's been having single pin spare issues for a while now. Good stuff there, and a good start for Marshall Kent. Watch the 6-pin, second to the right, goes to the sidewall, slaps the 10 out. Exactly how you draw it up for a right-hander. Marshall Kent had the front 18 this morning to start. Beauty. Maybe the front 20. Don Barrett's trying to remember what happened this morning. The front 20 is now confirmed, folks. And let's see A.J. Johnson make a little move here on the left lane. A really good athlete. These two, both of these players, really good athletes. Marshall Kent, a gym rat. A.J. Johnson, kind of the same. High school football player. And there you go. You can see the athletic move from both of these players. A.J. Johnson really uses his lower half, as does this man right here, Marshall Kent. Both players high rev rate, power players, the young guns in the future of the PBA Tour.
And the only two players to shoot 300 this week in this event, Marshall Kent with 2 of them, A.J. Johnson with 1. Went down to watch into match number 7 for AJ earlier, and he was very, very frustrated. Made some really, really good shots. Rang at 10, rang at 7. Ended up losing the match and really thought he was out of it. But good perseverance and experience let him know that don't ever give up. 290 in the last game, and he makes the show.
Great shot by Marshall Kent. There you go. There's that similar posture and posting up that shot. And watch EJ Johnson do the same. Ooh. Boy, that was a dirty messenger coming across there in front of the 10. Looked like he got it just a little bit right of target. Finished late. A lot of designs going on in that shirt he's wearing. Pretty colorful. Yeah, beauty. I think I would have gone with black trousers with that shirt. That's just me. And that's 10 in the pit. That ball would have knocked down 20 pins. Marshall Kent taking a re-rack. Players are allowed 2 re-racks per game. And let's see if Marshall can continue the string. Finished second earlier in the year with his doubles partner EJ Tackett in Portland, Maine in the Mark Roth Marshall Holman doubles, where they lost to Kyle Troop and Jesper Svensson. Marshall carries the late 10. Perfect through 5. Watch the 10 pin all the way to the right. There you go. 6 pin catches just enough of it.
Marshall with 2 PBA titles, 2016 Team Challenge in Las Vegas with EJ Tackett, Rhino Page, Chris Loscheider, and Ronnie Russell, and also overseas 2014 in Saudi Arabia. So 2 official PBA titles for Marshall, but really would like to get his first one on U.S. soil.
Wow.
Singles title.
That just split the 8-9 in half, and right now he's all over EJ Johnson like a bum on a bologna sandwich.
'14 Harry Golden Rookie of the Year, Marshall Kent. Plenty of experience from this young man as well. 3-time Team USA member, junior team member, ton of experience. First collegiate team All-American 2013-14 MVP. Looking for his first title. Good looking shot right here.
Yeah, it just came around the corner a little late. And again, it's another soft 10 with the messenger in front. And you could see the look of disgust and his reaction after that shot. And that's because his opponent is perfect through 6 frames. Right now, EJ Johnson's fighting harder than a one-eyed cat trying to stay into this match, and he's just got himself in a ugly position. 209 for him. Marshall Kent perfect through 6.
AJ can still shoot 249. We've seen Marshall's spare woes, but the way he's throwing now, he's not going to worry about shooting any spares.
You said it, I didn't. There you go. Well, he likes the left lane, and he's got to figure out a way to get his ball to face the pocket like it's doing on that lane. He's got to figure out the same method on the right. Marshall Kent going along nicely right now. Oh. Can't believe that 7-pin stood up. I just got tapped on the shoulder. I looked behind me at Sean Rash. He said, he wins today. I'm guessing he's referring to Marshall Kent.
I'm guessing he is as well.
So you were mentioning something about Marshall's spare game? Well, we're going to take a look.
Got that one.
So far, so good. But no pressure. You know, it's a little bit different when you've got pressure on you and you've been missing single pin spares, and then all of a sudden you got to make one. All of a sudden the brain starts thinking a little bit differently. Stay tuned.
Defending champion Jakob Butturff warming up on the low end of the house, waiting for the winner of this match.
Beautiful ball reaction by Marshall Kent. It's another 10 in the pit. You see the great position he creates the foul line. Right trail leg, the great knee bend, upper body leaning towards the pins, and all that power. Not all that different than this man right here. Now can he strike on the right lane? There you go. Listen, there's still time, but right now, EJ Johnson is only thinking of one thing, and that's striking out. Got to strike here in the 9th frame to have any chance.
Well, we saw from his reaction, he's a little more relaxed. I think the last match we saw him against Josh Blanchard, it was his second title match. He wanted to win so bad. Now he's been there a couple times, a couple runner-up finishes. Got some work to do to get the title match here, so a little more relaxed, kind of talking to the pins that time after that shot. Time to perform right now, put some pressure on Marshall Kent.
Well, that one was right, but this time he carries that late 10. Watch this pin action.
Strong, heavy roll. Ball comes off the spot. Really nice. And Messenger takes out the 10.
Marshall Kent taking, I believe, his second re-rack.
So what's the rules? You get 2 on your own, and then you ask for forgiveness for the next one?
No, there is no more asking. You get 2, and that's it.
That's it.
Can't even buy one.
No buying a vowel.
Big shot coming up from Marshall Kent right here. Wow. All right, just cover the spare, doubling the 10th, and he wins. A great shot by Marshall Kent.
Now remember out there in extra frame land, this pair was oiled after the cashier's round. Hasn't been touched since then, but it's sat there for a while. What's that going to do to the way it breaks down, Randy?
They usually get a little tighter. The oil starts to spread out. We watched the players practice a lot farther right than they'd been all week, but that was just to probably create a bigger hook spot so that they felt they had a chance to beat the lone lefty in Jakob Butturff. But right now, it's no time to start sweating like Shaquille O'Neal at the free throw line. You got to just get up there and throw a double and move on. .259 max score for Marshall. .249 A.J. Johnson.
Strike spare, A.J. will have a chance to tie spare strike. A.J. will have a chance to win a double, and Marshall Kent will advance.
Well, you don't know how big that hit is because now a spare guarantees him a tie. If he would have gotten 9 spare strike, A.J. could have got up, struck out, and beat him.
Now a chance to seal the deal right here. One more in the 10th. And it doesn't matter what A.J. Johnson does.
Wow. A great shot and a nice finish for Marshall Kent. He is going to move on to face our defending champ, Jakob Butturff. Been a great opening match.
Lubbock Sports Open presented by Ebonite. First champion 1957, Ski Foremski here in Lubbock.
Ski Foremski was a lefty.
50 years ago.
I know you probably found that hard to believe that I actually knew that, but
I remember some Ski Foremski stories you've shared with us before.
I actually knew Ski Foremski. Met him a couple times, PBA champion. Yeah, left-handed.
And another lefty coming up, our defending champ, Jakob Butturff, taking on Marshall Kent. Refresh those beverages, grab a snack, and come back with us from South Plains Lanes. Semifinal match, Jake Butturff, defending champion here at the Lubbock Sports Open, taking on Marshall Kent. A very impressive win in game 1 over A.J. Johnson. Lefty-righty, what's the keys for both players here, Andy, as we look at the Storm Cup
Strike a
standings?
lot.
You think Butturff's going to shoot 250s plus?
You know, I mean, I'm just not sure what his ball reaction is going to be like. I think that Marshall Kent's ball reaction is going to be great. As long as he can stay ahead of the transition, he'll be fine. So it basically comes down to what type of ball reaction does Jakob have. And position around his ball reaction was terrible.
Yeah, he bowled on a pair that he bowled on previously in the day. This pair is fresh for him. We'll see how he got a chance to. He didn't get a chance to really break it down, just get some warm-up shots in. And looked like Marshall Kent might be making a ball change there. And as we're looking at the Storm Cup standings, EJ Tackett, the #1 seed, I do believe he will take over the lead in the Storm Cup points, regardless of how anyone else finishes.
He's guaranteed how many?
At least second.
Guaranteed how many points? 19.
So goes to 53.
Yeah, there's your new leader.
Marshall Kent can jump up to possibly second, though. He can get to 46. And Marshall will start the match.
Same ball, he moved in a little bit more. It's like bowling league now for him. He knows he has room to the right. He's got a little oil left, and he's just going to keep chasing it to the left and increase his angle through the front part of the lane.
Well, he's definitely comfortable right now, but we have seen Marshall a couple times this week and earlier today. You get the ball right too early, it stays there.
Well, this guy here, he can strike. He can strike with the best of them with urethane. I'll tell you what, he won 9 regional titles last year. That was a record. The defending champ here won twice. He had quite the year, and did the majority of that with urethane. And that's the look. When he gets it to that spot and it goes long, I think that's a problem.
Yeah, that ball hit the 42, 43 mark and just wiggled.
EJ Johnson walking by us. Great week for him. His time's going to come. He bowled great just to get to the top 4. 2 10 pins. 2 10 pins really was the difference in that match. Against this man right here, Marshall Kent. Remember, folks, Sean Rash predicted this man is going to win.
Well, we've got 2 champions in Lubbock that got something to say about that. So he's going to have to earn it, no question, but a good-looking shot right there.
I'll tell you what, when you carry this hit,
good, clean living right there.
all I can say is good for you. Trying to stay perfect. Now working on a double.
Well, and Butturff's going to be awful tough to catch when he's got 21 in the first on a strike and a spare. He's got possible 281 according to the telescore there. It's like a little glitch in the system, but we know the real score.
Yeah, I'm not real sure about the react there, but because of where the ball ended up, but it was kind of an apprehensive move when the ball left his hand about halfway down the lane, and it ended up perfect in the pocket. Oh, there we go. This shot here has to strike for him. And instead, it's a ringing 7.
Oh, you see the frustration on Jakob's face. He bowled great all week long. A couple of tough games that really cost him. Drops down to the second spot here. And just needs to figure out how to knock down 10 pins. And that's been a struggle for him the last couple of hours.
Right now, he's got to feel like he's slowly being poisoned.
So is this the double-edged sword here? I mean, he lives with urethane, but now going to die. I mean, you can't make a move now. You're throwing urethane all week. You can't jump to a resin ball. You have no idea what it's going to do.
I mean, it's all entry angle, and the ball's not facing up properly. And that's why he's leaving 7 pins. Well, Marshall Kent now looking to take Jakob Butturff out back behind the shed. And he can do so with a couple of strikes right here for the front 5. And this is where you want to just jump all over your opponent. Jacob's not striking. Marshall's got the pocket. He's got carry. This is where you really put boots to him. And instead it's wide right, and he missed it at the bottom. And it's the absolute worst thing you can do in this position. Look at how far right that ball is. Maybe just a hair over aggressive, knowing the situation. And the worst thing you can do right now is give this opening back to your opponent.
Level of difficulty for a tour player on this washout?
2 to 1, 3 to 1. Interesting, he decided to hook it at the washout, where you see most players throwing it straight. Marshall decided to curve it. Too much of the head pin.
Yeah, I'm definitely a straight at the 1-2 on that one for that conversion.
Well, I never leave one, so I don't have to worry about it.
It's that 16-pound ball. Kicks the 10 out on those 1, 2, 4, 10 combos.
Those 16-pounders don't leave washout. Well, actually, Marshall uses 16 pounds too. So, all right, let's see how he rebounds after that. Beautiful. Great shot after the brain fart in the fourth frame. That's just perfect. And we saw players do that all week. You know, as soon as their angles start to get steep through the front, they get a little quick with it, or they miss it at the bottom, and it goes right through the end of the pattern. We saw players take – Anthony Simonson picked off the 10-pin doing that.
Yeah, a couple players picked 10 off the floor rack.
And now this is the exact opening that Jakob Butturff wanted. So a couple of ringing sevens, and he's just a double away from taking the lead.
This ball finishes much better through the pins. Well, deflect a little bit.
It was just a little light mixer, but, you know, that's just a little bit left of where his ring sevens were. And right now, another strike here in the sixth, and we've got a new leader. Unbelievable.
Almost sounded like he's rolling a thumb hole on that. Did you catch any of that?
I didn't. I think you're hearing things.
I mean, he's got, I don't think he's quite a full roller roll, but he's got definitely a unique roll. High rev rate.
He really rolls that bowling ball up on his wrist, and that's where he creates all of his revolutions and power. But, you know, he can't win leaving ringing sevens on that hit.
No.
He didn't make the top four stepladder finals doing that.
Yeah, he didn't average 250 yesterday doing
He didn't
that.
average 250 doing that. So when he gets into that zone and when his ball starts to go ring seven every time it hits the pocket, he's in big trouble. Marshall Kent now. Like to see him make a little bit better shot on this right lane. There you go. Another ball that splits the 8-9. You know, I think he just got a little overly aggressive, knowing the situation. Okay, well, let me really put it to him. And he just got up and overthrew it. You can see that ball wasn't near as far to the right. There is a little Obi-Wan Kenobi to the right of this pattern. You get it too far to the right, it's like it hit black ice. And that's what happened to him in the fourth frame. That's unreal. It almost looked like the 7-pin got hit. Take a look at this replay. English is my second language. Can you keep running that? Oh my goodness, there was 3 pins around the 7-pin, and it never got touched. That is incredible. Only here on Extra Frame, folks.
And 10-pin falls late. Big break getting that 10 out.
There you go. 2 for 2. Jakob Butturff looking for his first double. Usually when the ball hits there, you're going to strike.
Give that one a little bit of room to breathe. A lot better shape to that ball and much better through the pins.
Yeah, it finished in a better spot. Can he put 2 together? He can still shoot 239. Marshall Kent, 243 max. What a break. And sorry, Jakob Butturff's max score 238. How about this break? Trip to 4-6. That's pretty good stuff when you're looking for your first double. Keeps him in it. But nothing you can do about this man right here. Marshall Kent can strike out and shut out Jakob Butturff and bowl for the title. Wow. And there's the difference, the way his ball goes through the pins, kicking that 10 out versus the entry angle of Jakob Butturff's urethane ball. And Jakob leaving those ringing 7s. Big shot coming up here for Marshall Kent. If he does not strike on this ball, Jakob Butturff can shut him out. Must strike here. Wow. Cooler than a polar bear's feet right there. That is some good stuff. Bang. Beautiful shot by Marshall Kent. Yeah, that's right. I said cooler than a polar bear's feet.
That's pretty cool.
Well, there's a couple of huge breaks there for Jakob Butturff to keep him in it.
You got to believe he's thinking that he's owed a couple of those after the last couple of games we've seen him here on Extra Frame. Bunch of ring 7s. Shots he thinks he's making good, but take the breaks when you get them. Take advantage of it. Put some pressure on Marshall Kent. He can still shoot, what do we decide, 248, 238?
238.
We got a little scoring glitch there.
Yeah, it's 238, folks. Here's the thing. Whatever Jakob Butturff does in the 10th frame, Marshall Kent has to do the same to win. Oh, my. I'll tell you what, he's bowled a really good game. He got a couple of breaks that he deserved. Some big-time ringing 7s, and then look at that. Shreds the rack, pins going in front of the 7-pin. Marshall Kent needs a mark of any kind on the lane that he washed out on just a couple of frames ago.
And we saw him kind of tighten things up after that. Make a couple good shots, but you've got to be thinking what you just said. I washed out on this lane. Any type of a mark. And a little bucket crumbler for Jakob. Solid ball game for Butturff. Hit the pocket all kinds of ways. Just couldn't figure out the magic to get all 10 pins to fall at the right time. So 217.
Any mark will do it.
Well, and good count too, though, right? I mean, another 6 spare is going to make it very interesting.
You got to think that if he goes 9 spare, he can get 6. Wait a minute, he'd need 7. No, my math is bad. Wow. All right, stand by, folks, because single pin spare shooting has been an adventure for Marshall Kent. A great shot, though. Really nice.
Head pin goes to the sideboard, back in front of the 7.
Yeah. This score for Jakob Butturff, I believe, is 217. Is that
217? Yes.
Is that correct? All right.
98.3% sure it's 217.
All right. He needs a spare and 6. There you go. Solid on those single pin spares there, Bubba. All right, 6 pins and he moves on. It's not 218, folks. It's 217 for Jakob. Marshall Kent one good shot away from bowling for the title. There you go.
All right.
Great finish.
Marshall Kent, EJ Tackett, teammates won the title with Team America Rooster Illusion in Las Vegas in the team event, both head-to-head here in Lubbock. Lubbock Sports Open. EJ won here 2 years ago. and has won just about everything since leaving this event a couple years ago. And Marshall Kent looking for his first singles title here on U.S. soil in his young career. Practice coming up for EJ, and championship match next. Lubbock Sports Open Championship match presented by Marshall Kent, EJ Tackett. Marshall looking for his third PBA title. EJ looking for number 8. EJ, former champion here in Lubbock 2 years ago. And Marshall's going to start the match.
I look for this to be pretty high scoring if the old pattern holds up. You got two real high rev guys, and that old pattern's going to get beat up pretty good. But as long as they stay ahead of the transition, they should be fine.
You know, the one interesting thing in practice, EJ shot at the 10-pin. You only get so many practice shots.
Yeah.
What's he thinking there? Just stay loose?
You just want to make sure that his spare game was okay. EJ taking a re-rack out of the gate. Frame 1. Oh, you can actually see the rack from here. My monitor that I'm looking at, the 1-3 looked like it was completely closed. Frame 1. Re-rack gone. Interesting. Yeah, that was right. And then he set his hand, went around it early.
And that's been his miss a couple times today, is getting around it quick like that. But a little higher rev rate than Marshall Kent, so he's going to be able to kick that 10 out late and kind of break up that washout or the 2-4-10 combo. Is that the difference?
He's got a little bit more side rotation, or at least he did on that shot. And that was the only reason why I came around the corner to leave what it did to even catch a piece of the head pin. This man here is one of the hottest players, if not the hottest player on the planet. The Squirrel. Winner in Japan, beginning of the year, then Tournament of Champions. This guy's won everything but the lottery. Oh, dirty. That was dirty. Stone 9, ball goes right by it. Will Sean Rash's prediction come through? He said Marshall Kent is winning. He said that in game 1. But he's taken on the reigning player of the year. Pretty good shot, comes in a little light, leaving the shaker 4-pin. Let's take a look here. Remember what happened when the lane started to break down during match play and qualifying? They got a little wet dry. What that means is the dry to the right gets really dry, and then the oil left gets really slick, and it creates an over-under reaction.
So what's Marshall need to do to combat that?
Well, he could stay where he is and just get a little softer. Get a little softer with his speed so that when he does get it in the oil, it'll come around the corner.
So stick with the same ball?
Yeah, I mean, the only reason he would go away from that ball now is if it didn't strike when it hits the pocket. You know, that was just a little bit light. And so he'll make an adjustment on that lane the next time he's up on lane 20. Yep, you could see that one read early.
Both players in the championship match here, 24 years old, both former Rookies of the Year here on the PBA Tour. EJ in 2013, Marshall in 2014.
Marshall working that interchangeable thumb back and forth from strike ball to spare ball. So he's got to make an adjustment on both lanes next time up. And he's perfect on his spares in the stepladder finals thus far.
So EJ Tackett, 7 titles already, 24 years old, 2 majors. He's already Hall of Fame eligible with those 2 majors at 24. Is that fairly impressive?
Yeah, you normally don't talk about that when a player is only 24. Get in the hole. I love it.
Well, he's quite the golfer, so
He's
someone knows it.
Heck of a golfer, too. This is a much better shot. You see how much better the rotation is, and that faces up nicely. Both these players in the title match using 16-pound equipment. EJ Tackett weighs about $120, and he's throwing 16-pounders. I'm still not sure why Dom Barrett went to 15, but maybe he's getting old. I don't know.
Well, he went up from 14, I thought. Right?
I went up to 16. He goes to 15. He's like 20 years younger than me.
20.
But you still can't carry.
We need a ball return on 19. No, he didn't step off the approach because of me, which is something new.
Jimbo Evans and staff, I think that's the first ball call we've seen all week long that I can remember.
We've
ran great.
We've been working 2 days now. I haven't seen a call. Place is incredible. I'm going to steal his mechanic. Jake, nice bowling this week, buddy. Jakob Butturff
40 lane
walking
center
by.
here in Lubbock. The staff, Jimbo Evans, Summer Evans, done a great job as always.
This is no time for a rain delay. EJ Tackett looking to double up and take a 1-pin lead and make it 11.
Well, maybe the one way to beat EJ is just take his bowling ball and don't give it back.
All right, so let's analyze this. Remember the last time up for Marshall Kent, his ball went high. EJ Tackett gets up, and he goes just a little bit high, and that's a really awful break. Pocket 410.
I've had nightmares from that leave, I'll tell you after this show. Still have nightmares from that.
Watch how he shoots this.
Hard and straight.
It's a little unique, yeah, but from the extreme left side of the lane. Advantage, Marshall Kent.
I like where he's at in lane now. We saw him kind of square up just a touch after that washout. He's got a little room right, a little room left. And that one just come off his hand so nice.
So now this is a big shot because the last time up he went through the nose. So now he makes an adjustment. He has to commit, and now he has to execute. How about that pin carry? Take a look at the 710 here, folks. Wow. I carried a hit like that once, and then I woke up. I'll tell you, both these players are so good at creating steep angles through the front.
We saw a good look there at EJ's footwork, though. The way these two guys generate power, both similar size. I got to believe Marshall's
similar.
Marshall's
twice as big as him.
Well, they're both small compared to me. I guess I'm used to. They're both
Everybody's small compared to you. You're like 6'9", 400. I mean,
6'7". But EJ gets up on his toes to get the power. We're seeing Marshall get down a really deep knee
Sure.
bend to get his power. So it come from different parts of their body, really utilizing that core. And another 7-pin. Are you kidding me?
Wow. This is just dirty pool right here.
That pin just hangs in the gutter and gets blocked out by something else there.
Yeah. Very unfriendly. He generates it from the ground up. Marshall generates it going down. He uses his legs. Both players use their legs. He explodes up like a sprinter coming out of the blocks, right? Marshall Kent uses deep knee bend and leverage to create his power. But both players are snapping their wrist and elbow open at the bottom of the swing to create all those revolutions. It's kind of like throwing a yo-yo, except their yo-yos weigh 16 pounds. That's a heavy yo-yo. No better place to do extra frame than Lubbock, Texas, folks. I'll tell you that right now.
Left all the way.
I think this looks pretty good. And then all of a sudden it just jackknifes right through the head pin. And I think it's just that lane starting to break down. Talk about back and forth, though. This is what happens when you get high rev rates bowling on the same pair of lanes in the same part of the lane. This oil pattern is getting destroyed. It's getting beat like a rented mule. And both players have to stay in front of the transition.
So how important could that 4-10 attempt for EJ be? As he got nothing on count now.
Real big, and we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. That wasn't me.
Nope.
Just didn't like the feel. Normally when it's me, they'll usually yell something like, "Hey, Randy, shut up." But he didn't say that, so I'm good.
Oh, and he gets that 7 out.
There you go. All right. Marshall's got a pretty good idea of what the left lane's giving him. He's going to make an adjustment on the right lane.
That had been laid in the gutter just long enough to pop up and kick that 7 off the back of the pit. There's some pin action for you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've seen some messengers in my day, but this is filthy. Watch how fast this messenger comes off of the left sideboard. Oh, my God. There was like a homicide on the 10-pin. That replay was in 1/3 the speed, and that was still faster than any messenger I've ever thrown. That was so fun to watch. What do you say?
Oh, he liked it all the way. Are you kidding me? Wow. Posted it, watched it all the way through the pins. Brutal 9-pin.
I've got nothing. I mean, I've got nothing for you there. That's, yep, and you can see his reaction. Just an awful, awful break when he could have stepped up and taken the lead. I think that was aggravation there.
A little bit. A little bit.
Wow.
Just absolutely pured that shot.
Marshall's going to take a re-rack. Remember, this lane getting a little wet, dry look to it. Last shot he went high. You got to be careful if you make a big move and you get that ball in too much sauce and it doesn't come around the corner. You run the risk of leaving a 2-8-10, 2-4-8-10 combination. But he definitely has to make a move. Beautiful. Working on a strike. He knows the situation late in the match, and he gets up and executes perfectly.
233 possible Marshall Kent, 225 possible EJ Tackett. Sorry, 205. New math. Still working on that Common Core math.
At least I didn't say it. I'm keeping score over here. I'm still leading. Mistakes. Randy 2. Craig 1.
2-1. All right.
All right, big shot here. Set up the 10th frame. Marshall Kent has positioned himself to win for the first time ever a singles event in the States, and he knows it. He is now in the 2 teens, and as you said, EJ Tackett's max score 205. It's not very often you get a match where it's fairly low scoring and this entertaining.
EJ's made some great shots on lane 19 and has got absolutely nothing to show for it.
Really?
Doesn't make him any happier.
So the solid 9 doesn't go, but this does. So watch this, ring and 10, and then UPS comes over and takes the 10 out. I mean, that's crazy. UPS, messenger,
I got it.
work with me.
I'm with you.
Right. Big shot here. Oh, my goodness. You know, it's so uncharacteristic to watch EJ Tackett have carry like this. You rarely see him have carry like this. As Sean Rash is still tapping me on the shoulder saying, I told you. Marshall Kent needs to stay behind the foul line, keep the ball in the lane. He's going to win his first title stateside, 3rd overall.
And not just win a title, but beat the hottest bowler on the planet in EJ Tackett. That's got to be a little special.
And Randy Peterson heading down the lanes to get an interview with our winner, Marshall Kent. Marshall taking home his 3rd career PBA title, and no better place to do it here than in Lubbock, Texas. Another first-time winner in the U.S. here, 3rd year in a row. EJ Tackett won his first title here in 2015, 2016. Jakob Butturff was our winner, and now in 2017, Marshall Kent gets his first singles title on U.S. soil. And a great finish for Marshall Kent. Puts up the 233-194 victory, and we will go down to the lanes.
Congratulations, Marshall Kent. Wow, your first ever title here in the United States, and it came in all places, Lubbock, Texas. Take us through the title match and what adjustments you were making.
You know, I had a game plan going in. I was just going to stick to what I did all week, just keep following the shot left and just keep trying to make good shots, and looks like I made good enough shots down the stretch. So I just stuck with that alpha crux that got me here. I shot 2 300s with it this week. I mean, it's the storm ball and balls. I'll tell you what.
Describe what this win means to you, this stage of your career.
Well, I'm still trying to process. Is this real life? It means
It is. I'm pinching you in it.
It means the world to me right now. It's been a long time since I won, and it feels unbelievable to get the monkey off my back.
Talk about how much work and effort and time you put in to your craft.
You know, recently haven't been bowling all that well, so I've been putting a lot more time, kind of using that as motivation. I spent 15 hours practicing this week at the training center in Arlington, and it definitely paid off this week.
Just so you know, at the start of your match, your first match, Sean Rash hit me on the shoulder and he said, "You were winning." And you did. Congratulations, young man. Title number 3.
Thank you. Thank you, Lubbock. Thank you, guys.